When you see the image of this Maharaja, you must be thinking of only one word, and that is Air India. Today, Air India is known for loss-making venture, which had become a permanent drain on the hard-earned money of the taxpayers. As of 31st March 2020, Air India had accumulated 70,000 crore rupees as losses. Recently, Government of India disclosed that from financial year 2019 and 2010, Indian taxpayers provided funding to Air India of 1,10,276 crore rupees, from which 54,584 crore rupees as cash support and 55,692 crore rupees as credit guarantee support. But did you know that once upon a time, Air India was globally renowned brand? Once, even Singapore Airlines borrowed design concepts from Air India. In the past, Air India was also known as a flying palace. Back in times, Air India used to be the flag bearer of Indian pride and culture and promoted the Indian culture in the form of soft power. Air India was in such a bad condition a year ago that it was difficult to find even a buyer for it. Such a well-known global and national airlines. After all the disputes, the company was sold to Tata Sons in just 18,000 crore rupees. This was only possible when Government of India agreed to own the debt of 33,000 crore rupees. Today in this video, we'll talk after all why has Tata saved the life of Air India, which has saved millions of lives in countless humanitarian rescues and relief missions. Whereas airlines like Singapore Airlines, Etihad Airways, and Emirates are the national carriers and operated successfully and making profits. And also they have become a very reputed brand across the globe. So what happened to Air India that her reputation was so bad? As we go along in this video, we'll discuss how Tata and Son will bring back the pride of India and soft power. Friends, many of you might be knowing in 1903, world's first fixed-wing aircraft was flew by Wright brothers in 1903 in USA in North Carolina. Exactly 8 years after, 1911, India experienced its first flight. A person named Henry Bequille flew the first aerial post in Allahabad. Due to exploitatory British policy, India was facing acute shortage of capital and entrepreneurship in 20th century. Just because of this, it almost took 30 years for any Indian to fly the aeroplane. Finally, J.R.D. Tata became the president of the Indian aviation sector. He also became first Indian to get a private pilot's license, followed by which J.R.D. Tata started an aviation company called Tata Air Services and later renamed it as Tata Airlines. And this company received the contract of transportation of air mails. On 15th October 1932, J.R.D. Tata took off the first flight from Delhi to Karachi, and he was the first Indian person to achieve this. J.R.D. Tata had way bigger vision than just becoming a pilot. He wanted to bring in India the civil aviation revolution so that every common man can experience the flight. Because of British policies which were against the capitalist, Tata was not getting any form of investment support. Surprisingly, in very first year of operation, Tata generated 60,000 rupees of profit. In few days, Tata included domestic routes like Madras, Trivandrum and Delhi, along with international routes like Colombo and Burma was included in the list. During World War II, Tata Airlines also helped the Royal Air Force in troop movement, shipment of supplies, refugee rescue operation and aircraft maintenance. In 1946, Tata Airlines became a public limited company. In 1947, Free India saw a socialist government whose outlook was to establish state-led economy. which means government wanted to have control over all the resources and operations. As soon as they were in power through first constitutional amendment, government achieved to receive the nationalization power. And because of that, one of the first victim was airline industry. In 1948, the government of India bought 49% of shares of Tata Airlines and changed its name to Air India. And in 1953, by passing the Air Corporation Act, the government of India declared the nationalization of the airlines. Around 9 domestic airlines were operating in the private sector till now. They were nationalized by merging them. 2 public sector companies were formed: Indian Airlines for domestic operation and Air India International for international operations. JRD Tata was not happy with the nationalization of Tata Airlines and condemned PM Nehru. JRD Tata even said this is planned operation of Nehru to reduce the influence of Tata families on this nation. According to JRD Tata, a bureaucracy from the nationalization would control the airlines which had no understanding of flying the planes. According to him, employees' moral and service standard will be affected by this, and lethargicness will be kicked in the workers in the organization. Respecting the JRD Tata experience and interest in the airlines, Government of India offered chairmanship of Air India and directorship of Indian Airlines, which he accepted. In coming days, Air India built its own unique brand as an airlines that was combination of air travel and oriental beauty, along with world-class luxury, fascinating Indian architecture, paintings, motifs like Maharaja, continental food prepared by chefs of Taj Hotel, champagne, and unmatched hospitality was defining the Air India's brand. Air India used the India's soft power and created a truly Indian airlines, and every Indian was proud of it. The whole journey's star was JRD Tata, which meant a lot to him. On many flights, he used to travel personally as a pilot or a passenger so that he could personally check the quality standards. At that time, number of international airlines was very less and competition was limited. Because of wave of liberalization and privatization, globalization was still far away. Especially, it was very far away for India. In international airlines, Air India had achieved a market niche with its Oriental brand. So the destruction of such a great brand was done by government. That's what the experts believe. The decision to bring in a change in the management of Air India caused its downfall. In 1978, one of the flight of Air India was crashed around the Mumbai coast, in which all 213 passenger and crew members died tragically. According to the investigation, the reason behind the crash was believed that it was a pilot error, equipment failure was the main cause. Soon, 1 month later, Morarji Desai blamed JRD Tata for this accident and removed JRD Tata from the board of Air India and Indian Airlines. Process of replacing the independent board with ministry selected board had begun from here. Because of this, business acumen, technical expertise, and political equation were given more importance. Going forward, in 1980, Indira Gandhi recalled JRD Tata but did not offer him the chairmanship of the company. In 1986, Rajiv Gandhi appointed Ratan Tata as a board member. But soon after 3 years, Ratan Tata exited as a board member. From there on, with the exit of Ratan Tata from the board of directors, the Tata Sons had no more association with the company. Soon after this, the recruitment and the training standard had drastically reduced. Once upon a time, exotic food was served, but now people started finding cockroaches in their food. JRD Tata had considerable experience in aviation affair including flying aircrafts, and it was nearly impossible to find his replacement. Air India's service and maintenance started declining drastically. In 1991, when India adopted globalization, it was a disaster for Air India. Due to poor service quality and poor maintenance, Air India was not capable of competing with foreign international airlines. To increase the competition, airlines like American Airlines, German Airlines, Singaporean Airlines, and Middle Eastern Airlines took the advantage of this situation and started acquiring the Indian market. On the other hand, forget about international market, it was not even able to compete with domestic market. By 2007, it accumulated around 770 crores of losses, and around that period, to reduce the rising losses, the government decided to merge both airlines and formed a new entity called National Aviation Company of India Limited. And because of weak fundamental, this merger also started making losses. Like any other government department, Air India too was overstaffed. In per plane, 256 employees were working. The global standard was 100 employees, which is 2.56 times the number of employees required was hired by the Air India. Imagine employees getting good salary, pension, health benefit, above all luxury like free food, accommodation and free flight tickets were also available for the employees. Because of inexperience, bureaucratic management, many bad decisions were taken by Air India. Despite being in huge losses, the management took decisions to buy new planes worth 44,000 crore rupees. Whereas many airlines take airplanes on lease to avoid major capital expenditure. But Air India did not care about this because they had taxpayers infinite amount of money. In this deal also, there were many delays. First, to buy these airplanes, they selected Airbus company, and after cancelling the deal, they selected Boeing to buy their airplanes. Slowly and gradually, there were regular strikes of pilots and staffs. Flight delay was experienced, unfriendly and unwelcoming staff attitude and lack of service became the new brand of Air India. Experts believe that the company should have winded up its operation long ago. They could have saved lot of taxpayers' money. But for Government of India, Air India had become a prestigious issue. CAG in one of its reports had termed Air India the national carrier and the symbol of state. To this one commercial entity, instead of business fundamental, operating on misplaced symbolism, which means forcefully keeping the brain dead person on the ventilator. In the effort to save Air India, the government also caused a lot of damages to profitable private airlines. An unfair advantage was given to Air India through lucrative routes and prime timings and other benefits. But all the efforts were unsuccessful because there were many flaws in basic operations of the airlines. So far, we have seen how loss-making Air India a prestige issue and how much the government has done to the Indian aviation sector and the taxpayers' money. But the good news is, on 8th of October 2021, Tata Sons acquired 100% stake of Air India through its subsidiary Thales Private Limited Company. Finally, one of the major drain of the taxpayers' money was removed from the government's balance sheet. Now that Air India is in hands of Tata Sons, the original owner of the airlines, the expectations are it will bring back the original identity of Air India. And it's very likely to be possible. Let's look at it how. Along with the full and final exit of the Government of India, political interference from the management of Air India has been eliminated. Finally, technical and business-oriented person can take over the operations of Air India. Through profit-oriented top-class management, advertisement expenditure and avoiding the blunders like buying 44,000 crore rupees worth of airplanes when company was going through losses. At the same time, it will also get rid of major economic drain which the government could never do. Reduction of overstaffing and unnecessary benefit to the staff, which is very necessary to operate smoothly. It is also necessary to rearrange salaries, healthcare benefits, pensions, and freebies. The various restructuring and readjustment are required to efficiently operate Air India and bring the competition to same level to other airlines. Because of this move, there will be many layoffs, but many jobs can be saved as well. In long run, making Air India profitable can lead to capture more markets, which will lead to avoidance of layoffs and increase in employment opportunities. Air India, after the payment of 18,000 crore rupees to the government of India, the company's debt is now government obligation. In simple words, Air India has received a fresh start and does not have to deal with all the past losses. This means it will be cheaper and easier for Air India to get new loans and investments. Tata has also announced a new aircraft fleet, giving indications of the bright future of Air India, which will help Air India to capture more markets. 5 Boeing wide-body 777 aircrafts for international routes and 25 Airbus A320 neo narrow-body aircrafts for domestic routes will be available by end of next year. Because of this decision, Air India's fleet strength will increase by up to 25%, which will help in those profitable routes to increase the services. Air India Express, which operates short duration economical international flights on Middle Eastern routes, are 5 Boeing 77s they have achieved with their sister company with Vistara. India Middle East routes are the profitable and very lucrative routes. It is also being expected that premium economy service will be offered for the passengers for the first time by the company, which will have better customer experience and revenue. Under Tata Group, expansion of Air India is much simpler because if government was investing more money in the loss-making company, it would be a bigger blunder. Air India now has lined up many international routes under Tata leadership. These routes will connect Indian metro cities with many of US cities including San Francisco and New York. The flight from Bangalore to San Francisco will run thrice a week. The quality of services offered by the company is also expected to be improvised with this acquisition by Tata, including unfriendly staff behavior. Tata has proved its capability with Vistara and AirAsia, known for their service, timely departure, and customer satisfaction. Tata already has a 24% share in the Indian aviation market. Because of this, Tata's experience in Air India can bring back the brand value of Air India by implementing international best practices and standards. Improving efficiency, larger market share, and economic of scale with these 3 airlines, Air India may further reduce its ticket prices, which means it will be more accessible and affordable for common man. In Indian market, Air India, how it will bring back its historical glory, can also learn from market leaders' success stories. Presently, 52% market share of domestic aviation is occupied by Indigo Airlines. Indigo, in its very first year in the market, ordered 100 planes from Airbus and surprised everyone. Unlike Air India, this was not a waste expenditure. Due to large order quantity, Indigo received 50% discount. But more exciting part of this deal was Indigo resold the airlines to different company and made instant profit on that deal, and same planes were taken back on lease by Indigo Airlines. Other than this, Indigo understood Indian market very closely and learned that pricing of the ticket is very critical part. Hence, they could not increase the ticket prices. Indigo also conserved fuel and space by eliminating in-flight meals and entertainments, as well as reducing ticket prices. Such a genius business strategy is possible in a competitive and experienced professionally operated company. All the qualities that Air India now possesses. So till now we have discussed how Indian Airlines Maharaja was drained in the debts. We discussed all the reasons behind the losses and how Air India can return back to its old identity under Tata Sons leadership. The biggest takeaway from this lesson is that the government should refrain from taking part in non-essential businesses. Why this? Because bureaucracy was taking part from taxpayers' money. Because of this, lethargic, inefficiency, carelessness, lack of profit motive will be expected. Because of this kind of situations, there is a saying, government has no business being in the business. In those segments, private sectors has developed capability, appetite and efficiency, the government should exit from those sectors. For the future of Air India, it should keep in mind that despite being loss-making, Air India still commands a unique and attractive international footprint. More than 2/3 of consolidated revenue of Air India comes from international market. In international market, Air India is number one player. Air India has strong presence in North America, Europe and Middle East. Air India has exclusive attractive slots and bilateral rights. In Air India's frequent flying plan, it has 3 million active subscribers. There are attractive assets like 4,400 domestic and 1,800 international landing and parking slots and 900 slots in overseas airports. Because of all these, Air India has a bright future. So friends, this was the case study of Air India. Here we discussed different aspects of it. What are your thoughts on future growth of Air India? What might be the major challenges Air India might face in coming future? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you guys.